Preparing for a rapid release is hard.
I have something to say.
Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlie. You might know me better as sci-fi fantasy writer C.E. Dorset, and I am in the process of preparing to write a rapid release series. Yay, actually a couple, because not for money, not for profit, not for any of the reasons that is often given for rapid release, but because I have so many ideas in my head, I want to capture them as quickly as possible. So fast drafting is the best option for me to be able to get all of the stories contained so I don't lose them. I have been working very, very hard to capture the ideas and write every little scrap down that I can along the way, but there's a lot of them, and my mind keeps generating new ones. And because I have solemnly sworn not to start any new projects until I finish the projects I am working on, I need to get going. I need to get these stories out of my head, and at least in zero draft form. So how am I going to do that? First of all, I am creating this thing that I am referring to as an outline. It's not really an outline. For the Lit RPG series I'm working on, I need to actually figure the questline out, because the main story is quasi-contingent, at least at the beginning of the series, on them actually playing through the MMO. And since they're going to be playing through the MMO, I need to set up the MMO. Which means I have to create the playable races, I have to create the playable classes, I have to create everything that will be necessary for them to play through, including the quest lines and the quest givers. I'm not going to do a full set of them, but I kind of am writing two projects at the same time. One of which is actually going to be the module for playthrough, and then everything that I need to know about the players who are playing and the plot of the book, and then I have to figure out how to put it all together. Probably going to just play through the game as a zero draft, maybe? Still working on that one. The other ones are going to be a little bit trickier, just because there's a lot of timey-wiminess involved, and don't worry, it's not time travel. I do not write time travel. I have no interest in writing time travel. Hopefully I will never write time travel. I say, noticing that I'm wearing a Doctor Who shirt, but it does kind of leap around in time, because there are things that happen in media res, there are things that happen prior to the events, there are things that happen all over the timeline that it would actually make most sense to tell the story out of order. So hopefully that will work in the way that I'm intending it to. Then you have the fact that many of these stories are actually converging on each other or happen in the same universe. The Crimson Wyvern story is going to be taking place technically in the same universe as my Ash Dancer stories, which means that it's possible for our protagonists in one to meet the protagonists of the other. Don't know if that's gonna happen, but there's a chance that that could happen. And I'm kind of thinking about that too, because that could affect the story for the House of Blood and Fire books, which I also want to get done this year. So there's a lot. And I really want to put out there that if you think that you have to outline, you don't. I'm technically not outlining. That's why I always refer to what I'm doing as that thing I call an outline. That thing I refer to as an outline. Because it's outline adjacent, it's outline similar, it is close to being an outline. But it's the information that I have learned that I require when I am telling a story. So do that for yourself. Figure out what you need. If you don't need a full-fledged outline, don't make one. In fact, I usually work better when I slapdash a story, which means I kind of outline a couple scenes to chapters ahead of where I'm at in the story as I'm writing through it. And I kind of wish I could do that with the Crimson Wyvern story, but I need to have a lot of world building pre-done before I get started, and that's really slowing me down and kind of driving me crazy. But in the end, I think it's going to be worth it. I think it's a really fun story, and I can't wait to share it with you. So yeah, fast drafting, hopefully for a rapid release, is kind of the mode I'm in right now. I'm spending a lot of time creating playable races, playable classes, clans, nations, maps. Maps are going to be very important for this project because then as they're moving around, I can just look at the map and not have to make it up in my head, which will speed things up a lot. So I have a city map of Lightfell and I have the archipelago map for the Savras archipelago. Probably going to need to make some more city maps. And that's why I'm doing that thing I'm referring to as an outline. I need to know at least where the major locations are so I have enough data going into the system that I can pull a story out on the other end. At least that's the plan so far. And so far, I have been able to detect my world building disease every time it's cropped up. Hopefully that will continue to be the case, but I will be monitoring it very, very closely. I have to say, I'm really excited about all of the projects that I'm working on right now, but the Lit RPG project probably the most, just because I love the idea of having a tabletop RPG out with my name on it. That's a life goal for me that I'm going to be able to check off my list, and I'm really, really excited about that. And more than anything, if you didn't watch my last vlog on this channel, I really want to encourage you to do. Find the things that spark joy in you, find the things that make you happy. Focus on that right now. Focus on that. We need the joy. We need to build ourselves back up after the 4 years of nightmarish horror that we all just lived through. Alrighty. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. What are you working on right now? Let me know down in the comments. And if you haven't already, please consider giving it a like and a subscribe. That helps out a lot too. I have a Ko-fi and a Patreon. Links are in the description if you want to help me continue to do the things that I am doing. And I can't believe any of this needs to be said, but remember, until next time, democracy matters, Black Lives Matter, Black trans lives matter, and trans identities are magic. And until next time, may you have the courage to ride your dreams into reality, and don't forget to have the fun. Bye!